Welcome back to the Thom Hartmann program. Still with us, Wendell Potter, Executive Director. Is that right, Executive Director?
Yeah, that's what I plan to be.
Executive Director of Tarbell.org, which is a new project for you that you're launching, truth-telling website of journalism.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about it, just so that everyone knows what you're working on.
What we're going to be doing is investigating corporate behavior. As I wrote about in my first book and my congressional testimony and the work that you've just been talking about, we're going to be looking at the special interests, the corporations or trade associations that write the checks to corrupt our government, to corrupt our politicians. Most investigative reporting is targeted at policymakers and lawmakers, and we're going to shine a bright light on the insurance industry, for example. But we're also going to be investigating solutions. What would be a way that we can actually truly get us closer to universal care and a better healthcare system? What are other countries doing? So it's going to be a blend of investigation and solutions.
Fantastic. Tarbell.org.
Right.
And I know, but I will eagerly await your investigation into the pharmaceutical industry.
Exactly.
Who are one of the most corrupting industries that exists.
Absolutely. No doubt
because
about it.
they can't exist without the government giving them their patent-protected monopolies or their exclusive market power, and then being able to charge monopoly prices, which is as high as they want.
Yep.
And then they use some of those profits to funnel back into Washington, D.C., and the cycle continues.
They spend enormous sums of money, as you well know, to influence elections, to influence legislation. They spend more than any other industry and do that historically. During the healthcare reform debate in 2009, even though the legislation didn't affect them as much as the insurance industry, they spent more money in 1 year than any industry has ever spent. And they continue that level of spending to get what they want.
And in the last cycle, there's a referendum in California that the organization where I'm the executive director of Social Security Works, we were fighting for it, which would have been a margin. It would have been good, but it was not a huge thing. It was just like a small step in the right direction on lowering drug prices. And pharmaceutical industry killed it by spending more money on one side of the referendum than any previous referendum on both sides had ever been spent. That is the power, the corrupting power of the pharmaceutical industry, who are big players in the Trump care fight as well.
Clearly. Absolutely.
And we're going to get to a little bit of like, who are the winners in Trump care, which can't be called a health care bill. It is a tax cut for billionaires, and it is an unshackling of terrible business practices of the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical industry, although the pharmaceutical industry has never had any shackles on in the first place. They have literally never been told. So Wendell Potter, thank you for joining us in studio. We're going to keep talking about Trump care and all of the pieces of it. You were there when I was working at Healthcare for America Now, and you know the long hours that people put in. It was a hard fight. The Tea Party was created then. There was a lot of misinformation we were fighting, and the drive though that you had from people around the country was that we were fighting to provide health care for people, that real people were going to have great benefit of it. And the question I want to get to when we come back is, what is it that the other side is fighting for? When they have to work late, where do they dig deep to find that energy? Continuing in studio with us, the executive director of Tarbell.org, a fantastic new investigative journalism project by Wendell Potter, who is going to really be digging into the private side of the public-private corruption game. So really looking at, which is where your expertise is, so it makes a lot of sense, how do these industries actually spend their money so that they can corrupt the process to benefit their bottom line, which in many cases is literally the business that they're in, right? I mean, like they don't have another business. That's what they do.
It's pretty much the case. It's pretty much the case. And the insurance, I spent many years inside the insurance industry, as you've mentioned. So I know how it's done. I know what they do to protect a status quo that's very profitable. And that's what we're seeing going on to a large extent with Trump care. There's a lot that's going on behind the scenes we don't read about in the papers But these industries are really influencing the way things are done to protect their profits.
So can I ask a couple policy questions that I think will be somewhat illuminating for, so pre-existing conditions. That literally is a concept created by the insurance companies, right? Like there is no such thing as a pre-existing condition. Life is a pre-existing condition.
From the very beginning.
Exactly.
Pregnancy is a
pre-existing condition. Right. But the concept that we kind of have just accepted literally doesn't exist in many other healthcare models where you don't have these parasitic middlemen of insurers who are, all that word is people who they might have to spend money on,
That's
right?
exactly right. And that's a very good point. There's no need for it to exist anywhere else except in a system like ours. And the insurance industry came up with that to weed people out gradually over time from the so-called pool of people that they are willing or interested in insuring. And that's what's going on now. They're looking to try to recreate what existed before the Affordable Care Act, before Obamacare, when they were able to determine how much you're going to charge someone based on their health history, their health status now, or what they could have been born with with a birth defect, and many people are, and that in the way it was before Obamacare could make you ineligible for insurance coverage. We're seeing that once again.
So what is in Trump Care? I got in a Facebook fight with somebody over this because they were actuallying me, which was what I call arguments where they're like, well, actually, it's not Trump Care that does that. It's the insurance companies. And I'm like, yeah, the agent is going to be the insurance companies. Right. That is always, they're either going to be able to say there's a concept of pre-existing conditions, or what Obamacare did is just said that is no longer a thing that insurance companies can do.
Right. That's exactly right. Well, actually, that's what insurance companies want to do again. They want to be able to segregate the population and relegate those who have some medical claims, or they might have to have some medical claims, to this, I call it a leper colony, a 21st century leper colony, in which they want to get everybody out of the pool of young and healthy people into a place where they don't have to insure them like the rest of the population.
Now, this is the thing that, again, I was in this argument where they were like, well, actually, because the fact is that once you allow the insurance companies to have pre-existing conditions again, then it is really like this dynamic system where you have these companies who are trying to maximize profits. And the thing that they do to maximize profit is insure healthy people, exclude people who need care. Right? I mean, it's like literally, it's an amazingly bogus model for it, right? Yeah, I mean, like,
it is.
What are they doing if that's what their business model is? So healthy people who don't need the product, they're like, oh yeah, we'll take your premiums and deny you care. But over time, if there's no regulations on them, bad actors are going to start denying people for anything that they can.
Well, clearly.
And that gives them a competitive advantage over other actors in the space, which then the other actors start copying them and saying, well, I had to because this company.
Exactly.
So that is what the race to the bottom is very real.
Yeah. That's why we needed to have an act of Congress to change corporate behavior, because that dynamic did take hold, and one company can't change it. You have to have regulations, changes to the way the whole industry practices, or it's going to continue that. It's going to continue to get worse. Before Obamacare, if you could get your hands on it, it's a very, very, very long list of pre-existing conditions. And not only that, it's not just your health status, but they were able to charge nurses and firefighters and others a lot more just because of occupation, and also where you lived. They had so many different ways of deciding how much they were going to charge you. They had one of the biggest areas of employment in insurance companies are underwriters who do nothing more but trying to determine how much to charge you based on your circumstances.
So Wendell Potter, the executive director of Tarbell.org, who is going to be investigating corporate malfeasance. The thing is, 24 million people kicked off,
Yeah.
raiding Medicare $118 billion, destroying Medicaid $880 billion, and bringing in the worst behaviors of the private industry and making it legal again. What are they fighting for? That's what and the answer is a giant tax cut to the wealthy.
That's it. That's what's motivating, apparently.
So, Wendell Potter, thank you so much for joining us
You're
on the Thom
listening to
Hartman
the
program.
Thom Hartman
Thank you, Alan.
program.